Welcome Counter Slaves, a show we play several times a year. Here we are with Clarence and Garrett. And Clarence, you got
Raven Guard.
And Garrett, you got
Death Guard.
Nice. We're doing 3,000 points. There are not one but two Primarchs in play. And yeah, we'll be back with terrain and armies and not terrain.
This is my 3,000 point Loyalist Raven Guard list. I'm running Decapitation Strike, and my Warlord has to be my Primarch. So, starting off, I have my Primarch. He's in full points mode, meaning he has like the wings and pistols and like a better armor save, no heavy bolters. So, that I have Katie's Nex, who's like a special character Mortat. I have Alvarex Mon, who's good with bringing in drop pods. And I have a Knight Errant who just suspiciously looks like a Raven Guard.
Channel first.
Yeah, so he's got a jump pack. He's got a Mastercrafted Power Fist. He has the like default Mastercrafted bolter thing they come with. He has a Narthesium, and he's a level 2 Psyker. So he's got
a secret mission.
And he's got a secret mission that Garrett doesn't know anything about, except that it could be one of 5. Moving down, I have 2 identical Mordathan squads. There's 7 combi flamers and 3 plasma guns. Sergeant has artificer armor and melta bombs. They're both in rhinos with multi-melta and extra armor and dozer blades. I have 3 outriders with melta bombs and twin plasma. I have a contemptor with carries and grav fist and extra armor. I have 2 tactical squads with artificer armor, combi melta on the sergeant, and one of them is in a drop pod. And I have 2 5-man plasma support squads with artificer armor and drop pods. That's my 3,000 point list.
3,000 point Death Guard trader, part of the Legion force. So second Primarch of the Night, Mortarion, running part of the Legion. HQ, we have a Praetor Tribune, model with a fist. Doesn't have a fist, obviously. He just has the Mastercrafted Paragon Blade.
Nice.
Digital Lasers, Iron Halo. Primus Medicae with Artificer Armor, Refractor Field, and a Power Sword.
Nice.
Part of the Legion, so 10 Death Shroud as troops. No Melta Bombs. Second troops is a 10-man Tartarus unit. They have, so the sergeant's got a combi plasma and a fist and a grenade harness, and then mixed throughout the unit are 5 more combi plasma, 6 fists, 3 chain fists, and they have a Spartan assault tank as a dedicated transport with ceramite and a flare shield.
Nice.
Third troops is a veteran unit. Stalkers, so scout. Sergeant's got artificer armor and a fist, and there are 2 plasma guns in the unit and a Vexilla. Rhino as their dedicated transport. Heavy support, we have another Spartan assault tank, outfitted the same as the other, armored ceramite flare shield. A Vindicator with, almost busted that. Vindicator with extra armor and ceramite as well. And rounding out heavy support, we have 9 heavy support Marines with missile launchers, and because Mortarion is in the army, poison frag.
Sick.
As an option.
Cool.
So that's 3,000 points. Death Guard, part of the Legion.
So we rolled 4 objectives, which are kind of spread out through the table.
And one's over there?
Yeah, and we rolled the table corners, so like the 9-inch pushback from the center. However, because in Raven Guard I have a whack out of it infiltrating and other stuff, so it's kind of hard to tell from that.
Start with what deployed.
So what actually deployed on foot was my Dreadnought, my Primarch. That was it.
Infiltrators?
So my 2 units of Mordathan infiltrated there, and a tactical squad with Alvarex Mon infiltrated there. And then Katie's next super infiltrated under there, out of line of sight.
Hidden in the darkness.
Yeah, exactly. So that is my deployment, and everything else is in the reserve. Reserves, I have my Knight Errant using Deep Strike with Falsehood. I have my outflanking Outriders. And then in Deep Strike Drop Pod, I have my Drop Pod squads.
Death Guard deployment, I have my 9-man heavy support missile unit up here. I have my Vindicator right here. This is the dedicated Spartan with the Tartaros unit and the Praetor Tribune. And this is the command Spartan with Mortarion, the Primus Medicae, and the 10 Death Shroud. And we'll do my reserves super quick. My 1 unit of reserves are my Stalker Veteran Tacticals in the Rhino, and they are outflanking with their Scout. Death Guard attempt to steal, gonna roll it right here. No sir. So we'll see you guys at the end of Raven Guard turn 1.
This is the end of Raven Guard turn 1. It is during night fight, so that's kind of important. For reserves, I chose 1 plasma support squad and 1 tactical squad. So the plasma squad I brought down here.
And they didn't scatter because of Buddy?
Yeah, they didn't scatter because they were within 18 of Mon. They landed in the swamp, and then they auto ran 6 because of Korax to kind of be on the objective.
Past the dangerous?
Yeah, the Dreadnought stayed put and popped smoke, so he's just kind of there.
The other pods over here?
Yeah, the other pod's over here. I rolled a hit, and then my guys piled out and then auto ran kind of 6 this way. And they're in the ruins of something, hopefully not about to die really badly. And then I shot both Rhino multi-melters at the Demolisher that I forgot had Armored Ceramite. So I got 1 hit and didn't go through because I rolled a 1. So that was it. I moved Korax kind of more in the backfield a little. And yeah, that was my turn 1. I'll see you at the end of Death Guard turn 1.
So end of Death Guard turn 1. I was feeling sort of constricted in by Cleary's stuff dropping in. And I wasn't sure if I should just ignore the guys that were here, but I figured, you know what, I don't want those guys just operating in my backline. So this Spartan turned around, dumped the Terminator, the Tartaros with the Praetor out, and they subsequently charged in and killed that unit.
The exact amount of attacks, not 1 wasted.
This Spartan here moved up a little bit and dumped this unit out. The gunner shot both of the rhinos, immobilized them both.
First blood for that one? Or?
So to mobilize them both, and then the Vindicator did the dumped Mortarion and his bodyguard out. The Vindicator fired point blank.
Boom.
And exploded that rhino and dumped the guys out. So that worked out well. It could have been disastrous, but yeah, they did well. So these guys dumped out. The missiles fired into this rhino. I missed a shitload. I might have done 1 hull point to it. But yeah, Mortarion charged into the unit and cut them down. 1 Death Shroud took a wound. And they consolidated back towards their transport a couple inches. So I didn't really net a whole lot there, and I'm out of my tanks. But anyways, end of Death Guard turn 1, we'll see what happens.
Raven Guard turn 2. I got 2 of my 3 reserves in, which was my drop pod with plasma support, which is there, and Outriders, which outflanked onto this side of the table, which are here. I guess we'll just kind of start here. I shot at his Terminator squad with my twin plasma guns. I inflicted 6 wounds because they're twin linked and he's an independent character, and I have preferred enemy IC from my Rite of War. So it's very efficient with the plasma gun. So I killed 4 out of the
10.
10
11.
remaining guys.
11?
No, because I killed one from the combat.
Yeah.
Draw pod, failed to hit any. And then moving here, I kind of unloaded. I disembarked with the Mordathan, and moved up with the Dreadnought and kind of positioned everything to try and shoot his stuff. So I used the Fatal Strike with the Mordathan, so they have Twin Linked and Rending on all their shots. So I got something like 13 or 10 Rends, 23 Flamer wounds, and then a bunch of plasma from that, and then 9 plasma wounds from the squad that dropped down, and I also tagged a guy with one of Katie's Nexus shots, so he did a wound as well. So I didn't quite kill the unit. There's still 3 Terminators left, varying states of being alive.
Remind us the name of your Rite of War, Cleary.
Yeah, it's Decapitation Strike, but due to the 2 wounds and the Feel No Pain and the Terminator armor, just for the armor saves.
Attempted decapitation strike.
Yeah, he did manage to live. If it was like a non-2 wound unit, it would have been wiped for sure.
Yeah. And
But that's
Korax
cool.
moved
Yeah,
there.
Korax he's lurking in the shadows. He's
Hiding.
waiting for stuff.
And they're still here, yeah.
I have my backline units.
And next came out from underneath,
Yeah,
right?
he came out from underneath, so I might get missiled or blast cannoned or something. But
He's not far.
he's done a cool job. So that's it for my turn 2. I'll see you at the end of Death Guard turn 2.
So end of Death Guard turn 2. Start over here. So the Stalker veterans came in on this table edge. Got out, lit up the tactical unit in Mon, and ripped through half the unit. So that was good. Moving over here, the Spartan pivoted to fire at the Mortat character, and the bikes killed a bike.
And you killed next too, eh?
Yeah.
With the las cannon, yeah.
It was actually a rocket that killed
Or was it a rocket? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rockets fired at him as well. Rocket pulped him.
Point blank.
Vindicator fired a shell right here. Killed 3 guys, I think. 2 or 3 guys. And then Chem Flamers. So there's 1 dude left up there. Mortarian threw a Phosphex bomb at the unit that was here. Killed a lot of dudes, ran in, reaped them down. But now he's sort of dangerously
Consolidated into cover.
exposed with his brother and a dreadnought and a bunch of other guys. And then this Spartan fired at the dreadnought with everything, didn't do anything. And the Terminator unit used their plasma, finished off the bikes. So, and Death Guard turn 2.
Raven Guard turn 3. My reserve did come in, and I put him right in the corner so he didn't get shot at by things.
deep strike.
We'll kind of just start with him.
Deployment.
His psychic powers are Endurance and Warp Speed. I tried to cast Endurance on 4 dice, failed. Tried to cast Smite on 2 dice, failed. Then he shot them with his Paragon Bolter.
And killed 2.
Yeah, killed 2, not with Rending or anything. You just made them fail to save, so that was pretty funny. Moving back on over here, my Dreadnought moved up, shot Mortarian. I think he did 1 wound with the Assault Cannon. Charged and did another wound with Hammer of Wrath, and then a 3rd with his Fist. But Mortarian did manage to get like 2 6s on him.
He's got 1 hull point left.
So 1 hull point left. Over here, I shot at them with a bunch of Storm Bolter or Combi Bolters and Plasma. I think I did a wound total because the invul save and the armor just blocked the bolters and things like that. And then over here in the back, I moved Korax 12 and kind of daisy chained the squad so he could join them. And then they charged in. Korax killed a bunch of them. The rest kind of died to like fists and swords and stuff. And even though he's stubborn, he fell back and he was easily caught by Korax. And I consolidated 1 inch. So it's looking kind of like dicey because I don't have a lot of models left. But at the same time, I do have a bunch of tricks. So we'll see how that ends up in Death Guard turn 3.
The Death Guard turn 3, maybe we'll start over on this side. So my Tartaros unit wanted to sort of get in here with the Knight Errant, but they had a super short move and did not make the charge. Too bad for those guys. So these guys sort of shuffled a bit. Killed the lone, the last plasma dude.
Missile to the face.
Vindicator moved up. Shot the Rhino. Wrecked it. The Terminators just moved a little bit this way. Mortarion was able to kill the Contemptor. And he consolidated away and got a wound back. So he is seriously injured, but moving in the right direction.
Still in the fight. That lander or that.
Yeah, this Spartan pivoted and combined fire from it and the Rhino killed a couple dudes and put a wound on Korax. So it's not a lot of units left on the table. It's getting dicey. So yeah, it's end of Death Guard turn 3.
This is the end of Raven Guard turn 4. Start down over here. So my Tactical Marine squad moved and split from Korax, and then auto ran 6 up the scalable side of the building to get on top of the ruins, get cover. Korax made a 10-inch charge and charged the Spartan and did 3 hull points out of its 4, and it's shaken. So that means 1 set of last cannons will be shooting him next turn. Over here, I moved my guys up and shot at his Terminator unit, and I killed 2 Terminators. That's including with all the Storm Bolter and Combi Bolters, I should say, from the pods. So that's what got shot over there. And then moving on down, I got Endurance off. I killed another Terminator with a Paragon Bolter, and I charged in, and I only managed to hit once, and I did kill his other Terminator, so it's just the HQs facing off against each other now. And yeah, that's my turn 4. So we'll see you at the end of Death Guard turn 4.
On to Death Guard turn 4. Start over here. So the 2 characters wail on each other. I did another wound to the Knight Errant. And did not take any damage back, so he's down to 1 wound. But that combat is ongoing. Spartan moved over and shot into the plasma unit. Killed a couple guys. They held. I made a pretty critical error, not thinking of Korax's snapshot, if not the closest thing. So these guys snapshotted into Korax, the missiles, and this thing couldn't shoot at him. I think a needle pistol shot took a wound off.
Yeah.
And 1 other wound from something. Maybe the Spartan, I'm not sure. But anyways, he's taken 3 wounds. See if Mortarion gets a wound.
Oh, right, yeah, let's do it live.
And I get to reroll.
Yeah.
He does.
Nice. Morty's
The
coming
sad
back.
part about that is he is running away because he is bleeding a lot.
Valiantly running away.
Yeah, so Mortarion ran away. These guys ran into combat.
Tied combat.
Tied combat, no damage either way. Debatable whether or not that was a good move. It really didn't get me anything because he can bounce out, right? So, and yeah, the Rhino shot here didn't do any damage. I'm behind, but maybe we can kill Korax. We'll see at the end of Raven Guard turn 5.
The end of Raven Guard turn 5, and it's also my last turn. So, start down here. I kind of spread out and moved to be on the objective. I pointed my sergeant back towards his tank because I have a combi melter that I shot and I failed to pen. But I still hit, at least. These guys move up 6 and ran auto 6 to have a slightly more defensible position than the other objective.
Right, yeah,
that
with
was
the
back
tank.
here because I have some cover, some line of sight blocking. And then the combat with Korax, I managed to just kill his last 1 wound grave or death shroud and put a wound on his console. And he didn't do anything back because I have the double -1 shadow walk to be hit up. And then finally over here, his Praetor managed to kill my Knight Errant. So at least I can't score that one if I had killed him, for example. So that's my last turn. We'll see at the end of Death Guard turn 5.
Death Guard turn 5 and the end of the game. So not really much to say. My character just moved towards the objective. He can't score. Just sort of
Felt right.
felt like the right thing to do. Combined fire from this Spartan and the missiles killed these dudes, denying Cleary that objective. And then the Vindicator and... oh no, it's just the Vindicator that killed a couple dudes and blew up the wreck of the Dreadnought. So this one was not being scored any longer. Mortarion tried to charge his brother, but was like a quarter of an inch short. I sort of regret moving him back here. It felt like the right thing to do just because there was so much shooting going on in this area, and he was down to 2 wounds.
And he's regenerated 2 now. So.
At his lowest
Three,
point, yeah, he's regenerated 3. He's back up to, like, didn't matter because it was the end of the game, but I rolled anyways, and he got another wound back. So,
he's ready to fight another day.
he is. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Scoring, so I was running part of the Legion, so Cleary gets 2 for killing my 2 Terminator units and the veterans. And then his Oath of Moment rule for the Knights Errant was to keep Korax alive, which he is alive at the end of the game. So he gets 2 points for that.
Even though he died, the knight.
He kept he kept the important guy alive. And I got 1 for first strike. So final victory to the Raven Guard, 4-1. Awesome game.
Sweet. Thanks for watching.
Gods of war, may your hammer be mighty.